mathematicians. Today we are going to work on percent conversions. First we are going to work with percents and decimals. These ones are nice and easy to change. So to change a percent to its decimal form, all we have to do is move the decimal 2 spaces to the left. Okay? So we're going to locate the decimal, and here there is no decimal point, so it's hiding at the end of 8. Okay? And we're going to move that 2 spaces to the left. Once, twice. Now I have this opening right here. What do you think I should fill this with? Exactly, a 0. So 8% is the same as 0.08. The decimal form is always smaller, so if 8 is a percent, it makes sense that our decimal would be smaller at 0.08. The decimal portion is always a smaller value than the percent. So for number 2, if I wanted to change 7.1%, what should I do first? Find our decimal. It's right in between. And I'm going to move which direction? Left, how many spaces? 2. 1, 2. Again, I have an opening, so I should fill this with a 0. So our answer, 0.071. And I drop the percent sign. 7.1% is the same as 0.01. Go ahead and try this next one on your own. 206%. Let's see how you did. Where is the decimal point on 206? Yep, it is hiding at the end. Remember, if the decimal point is not visible, it's hiding at the end. And I'm going to move it where? 2 spaces. 1, 2. It's going to end right in between the 2 and the 0. So our answer, 2.06. 206% is the same as 2.06. Nice job. Now just the opposite. Going from a decimal to a percent, we should end with a bigger number. We're starting with a decimal. Okay. Again, we're going to move the decimal 2 spaces, but this time we are going to the right. So I find my decimal. I'm going to move 2 spaces to the right. Once, twice. It is in between 9 and 8. So 9.8%. So if it moves 2 to the right, and then put our percent sign on. What about 6.3? What should you do first? Move that decimal 2 to the right. Again, we have an opening, so I should fill this with a 0. 630%. If we have a whole number out front, we know that is always going to be over 100%. Okay? I have over 1 whole, so I have 630%. Try the next one on your own. Let's see how you did. 0.4. If you wanted to make 0.4 a decimal, what did you do? Move that decimal space. How many? 2 spaces. Which direction? To the right. Once, twice. What did you fill this empty space with? A 0. So 0.4 is the same as 40%. Nice job. The next part we're going to focus on is percents and fractions. Okay. Always need to remember for a fraction that a percent is a number over 100. A percent is a number over 100. For example, 5% is 5 over 100. This is going to help us change our percents to fractions. Every percent is just that number over 100. So to change from a percent to a fraction, write that value over 100 and simplify your fraction. Write it over 100 and simplify. So let's try one of these. 22%. A percent is a number over 100. So 22% is going to be written 22 over 100. A percent is a number over 100. So rewrite it over 100 and then simplify. What can I divide 22 and 100 by? I can divide them both by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11. And 100 divided by 2 is 50. So 22% is the same as 11 over 50. So take a look at this next one. 2 3/10 plus 35%. I can't add these together yet. They're not the same form. So will you please, on your own, change 35% to a fraction? Let's see how you did. A percent is a number over 100. Okay, a percent is a number over 100. Now, I could either simplify this or I could make matching denominators. Let's make our shoes match. Okay. It doesn't matter if you simplify first or make your shoes match first. I know I can easily make 10 100. So let's make our shoes match. Get common denominators. What do I have to multiply 10 by to get 100? What I do on bottom must do on top. 3 times 10 is 30. So now our problem has become 2 30/100 plus 35/100. And we've done this before. Okay. I have matching shoes, so if I add the tops, 65 over 100. What can you divide both 65 and 100 by? 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Take a minute. 65 divided by 5 is 13. Okay. And don't forget our whole number 2. Change 35% to be a fraction. Write it over 100. You could either simplify this here and then make shoes match. Here we chose to make our shoes match and then simplify last. So 2 and 13 over 20. Nice job. The last piece is changing fractions to percents. Okay? If possible, you need to change the denominator to 100 because I know the percent is the number over 100. So today we're going to be changing our denominator to 100. Tomorrow we'll talk about what we do if we can't make that bottom 100. So a percent is a number over 100. So I need to make it over 100 so I know what the percent is. 5 times what is 100? 20. And what I do on bottom must do on top. 20 times 3 is 60. A percent is a number over 100, so our percent must be 60%. Change the denominator to 100. What you do on bottom, you must do on top, and there's your percentage. Take a look at this last one. Maureen got 20 problems right on the 25-point test. What is her percent? Okay. So let's think about what this would look like if you were to get this back. What would the top of your test look like? She got 20 problems right out of the 25 possible. So if you were to write this as a fraction, what would that look like? The 20 points she got out of the 25 possible. So first write that test score as a fraction, 20 out of the possible 25. Using our information about changing a fraction to a percent, make 20 out of 25 a percent. Let's see how you did. A percent is a number over 100. How do you get 25 to 100? Times 4. What you do on bottom, must do on top. 20 times 4 is 80. A percent is a number over 100, so it must be 80%. Maureen got 80% on her test. Okay. So make our fraction over 100 to get your percent. Nice job today, mathematicians.